One of the reasons why it's difficult for us to envision the judgment on Rosh Hashana is because the judgment on Rosh Hashana is different than any judgment that we human beings live through. I'll share with you what I mean. Many years ago, when O.J. Simpson was on trial, he defended himself using the Dream Team, and the entire court scene was being played out. I made it a point to be in front of a television when the verdict was read. And you have to understand the tension of the moment. O.J. Simpson, whether he murdered his wife or didn't murder his wife, is a question which many people have their opinion on. But his verdict was now being told to him. He was gripping the table in front of him. Whether he would remain the rest of his life as a caged animal or be set free was to be told to him in that one statement. The jury foreman unfolded the piece of paper. He read the verdict. We find the defendant not guilty. The joy and the celebration that the man showed on his face was tremendous. That is judgment in this world. Trial, period of deliberation, then the verdict is read. When the verdict is read, everyone there knows it. The jury, people in the courtroom, certainly the defendant. We experience judgment on Rosh Hashanah, on Yom Kippur. There is a trial. There is a period of deliberation, and there is a verdict. But we don't get to hear the reading of the verdict. We don't know the outcome. We leave Shul on Rosh Hashanah Eve, and we wish one another L'Shana Tova, Tikasev, have a good, sweet year, but we don't know what the decree is. Were we granted a decree of sweet, good, health, well-being, and all success, or the opposite? We don't know. And one of the great difficulties in understanding the issues being judged is because we don't hear the verdict until much later in the year, until we've lived out much of that year. And one of the understandings that a Jew has to come to is that when I sit there in my community, when I sit there in my synagogue, in my shul, I have to understand that there are many, many decrees that are going to be written right then. Many of them are very sweet. If you look around the room, I'm sure that you'll see some people who had a hard year financially. They may very well be granted a year of tremendous financial success. A couple who couldn't have children for a decade may well be granted to have a child that year. A young woman who couldn't find her bashert, couldn't find her life's mate, may be granted that this year she'll find it. There'll be many sweet, wonderful decrees. However, there will also be some decrees that are not so sweet. Many people will be decreed suffering, illness, and I dare say if you pray in a large enough community, a large enough kehillah, if you look around, there'll be at least one or two X's, one or two people who will not make it through the rest of the year. Understanding that there is a trial, understanding that there's a period of deliberation, and understanding that there is a verdict is key to understanding what happens during the day. It's a wonderful day. It's a day filled with joy and happiness because we can experience Hashem, because we can understand things in a way that we normally can't, because we can understand the way Hashem runs the world. At the same time, it's a day that has to be balanced with a sense of gravity, understanding the issues of the day, understanding that my fate, the fate of my family, the fate of my community, ultimately the fate of humanity is being decided. Both emotions have to be there. Both emotions can be there when I understand the issues of the day and I understand that everything is weighed, measured, and decided.